course. So, guys, let's just jump right in here and let's just see what we got going on. College, Dean, tell us, has Alabama really bounced back? Was that a bounce back game? Did they look like they bounced back to you? Was that a bounce or was that just a small dribble?
Well, I think it was a bounce back for the defense. But offensively, we gained 268 yards less. They did. I won't quit saying we because we don't pull for anybody.
We just try to be and it's hard to. I'm sorry, but we have to remind people we're analysts. We have a show now. We do.
Let's pull for Alabama.
A little more for them, but we're for Georgia or Auburn. We want the conference to do well. But guys, when we criticize, we critique these things. We're not doing it as fans who just watch Alabama play on Saturdays and then turn the TV off and go back outside and grill and finish hanging out with their buddies, or don't watch the game and just talk with their friends in the living room and don't even watch the game and then act like they know more about it than everybody else. This is what we're supposed to do, break it down and critique it. So we're going to critique Alabama. I'm never going to come in here and say, that's the best football team I have ever seen in my life. There's nobody beating them. That's just ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. So we're going to critique.
Well, the defense took a lot of, 30 for 60. Rogers was 30 for 60. Averaged 7.7 yards of completion. That's nothing. They only rushed for 62 yards. That's great. Helms, Toa, 13 tackles apiece. Great game. Kool-Aid broke up 4 passes. Anderson had 2 tackles behind the line. But, man, the offense had 301 yards, season low, and only rushed for 40. Now, they didn't run the ball a whole lot.
Coach Bunn says that it was not a bounce back. It's a dribble, like I was thinking, because the scheme helped the defense. Because of the scheme that Mississippi State plays. They throw these little short situations.
And they didn't have no trouble with it.
Eli Wright is back. He's got to play Rickett.
Yeah, Rick's from.
He's got to play. He is from Florida. Played at IMG. He's from California, and played at
LSU.
He played at Maitre D. Did you know that?
Did he?
He did.
Wow.
Played at Maitre D. Went his senior year to IMG. Guys, this guy was a 5-star corner. Went to LSU and got hurt. This summer he did get caught on a dime bag in May, and got a little trouble for a dime bag. And Saban got in trouble with them, and he had to do police trouble, whatever he had going on. So he's been in a little trouble. He had been injured, but he's really, really back, and he's learning the playbook. And from what I understand,
he's going to be a force at corner.
Yes, this is his kind of breakout game, sort of. This is a way for him to break through. And I don't think it is a bounce back. If this is the best Bama's going to do, look for them to go out early.
Well, I was surprised by the 301 yards of offense. It kind of shocked me. I mean, that's the lowest I've ever heard of them getting, really.
That's usually halftime yards.
Yeah, 301. But 40 yards rushing.
No, it's not good.
But of course, Mississippi State, I wasn't worried about this game. All week, boy, we better watch him. I said, I'm not worried about them. Their scheme, Alabama's not going to have any trouble with their scheme, with what they do.
But they rush 3 and drop 8. All night.
Right.
So, in defense for Bryce, and Bun knows this, he's coached and you've coached, y'all, you understand what I'm saying? That's hard to throw against.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to throw the ball. There's 8 guys down the field covering about 6 guys.
Right.
Or 5, or, 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah. He still threw for 249 yards. I'm talking about Young, but 30 for 60. Rogers defense did good. No interceptions, but still,
Yeah, they had one, didn't they?
They said they didn't have any. He said he didn't throw none.
Rogers didn't. Pretty sure he had one. Almost had 2, but it was considered a drop. But anyway,
30 for 60.
The fourth quarter for me. Well, let me say this first. Starting my throat. The first quarter. We cannot start a game, I have noticed. Ladies and gentlemen, please share your thoughts. I have not yet to see this year Bama get the ball, start the game, and get a first down. It's 3 and out every time.
It takes them a minute to get going.
That's not going to work in the playoffs. 2, they're ahead in the game, but they can never really get anything going. It just never felt I wasn't satisfied with as a watcher of a football game. I don't feel like Alabama And you see the score, and for your average passerby, the fan that just watches Alabama on Saturday and gives you the middle finger, if you critique them to say that, well, they won the game, by God, you're right, they did. Thanks for noticing. Glad you paid attention there. Did you make all A's in color in kindergarten? I guess you did, being that intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But for the non-just passerby, people that really watch the games and critique what's going on, it's just not a dominating. They're just not dominant. Nobody's scared to play Alabama anymore.
Mm-hmm.
People smell blood in the water. The coordinators are not efficient at their job, and I think that Saban's been hands off for a while because he's trusted his coaches to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just be honest, he's not a spring chicken.
No, he's not. Not anymore. I mean, he's 71.
Yeah, so
or 70
I think he'll be 71 in 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
But the fourth quarter, did you notice how Bryce played?
I'd actually turned. I didn't pay much attention to it.
See, I watched it really even more closely. Me and Marcus left right about game time, and we was headed down to see Street Outlaws, and Sean and the guys down at Steele, and the line was backed up down the side of the road, and it was going to be probably
Packed up to Montgomery.
about 2 hours to get in, and we
Just to
got
get
there at 5 or 6, and they'd be done at 11. So if we got in at 7 or 8, we're going to pay $70 to watch them race for 3 hours.
Yeah,
That's not worth it. So we just couldn't do that. So we went on down Trussville, went to Milo's, grabbed a burger and some tea, and had a good time. Enjoyed time spending time with my son. It's good. He's a great young man. I'm very proud of what he's done and where he's headed in life. Now, with that being said, when I come home, I get to watch most of the third, and I watched all the fourth. Bryce Young running circles. He looked like old Sunshine up there at North Sand Mountain.
Really? Yeah.
He just constantly rolled us out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear nobody complain at the lineman for holding. They got away with so many holding calls last night. Bama.
Did they?
Yeah, because Bryce is holding the ball for 7-8 seconds. Listen what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like,
They're not.
what are you
getting
doing?
out.
Throw the ball. Run it. Run the ball. There's only 3 guys rushing. Run the ball.
Right.
Get down the field. You know how many times we had to punt? Because he wouldn't throw the ball several times.
Oh, they had to punt several. Yeah. I mean,
in the fourth
300
quarters. In the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So that tells me that O'Brien is either stupid or blind, but he can't be stupid. He's
No, he's not.
He's been a professional football coach.
Yeah, for the New England Patriots.
It seemed like for the Texans, it seems like he was trying to score more, and we were up 3 touchdowns at the time then.
They seemed flat in the second half.
I don't understand what's going on. I'm just so discombobulated. The defense stood up, and they can play those little crappy little bubble schemes.
Yeah, they can destroy that.
And hit the guys. He's coming across the little short routes, and they did a good job on that. But they're not able to stretch the field on guys that can run like Hyatt. They're not. They're just not. They can't. Helms just can't cover him. I mean, a lot of people can't.
Right,
But
yeah,
Pittsburgh played them as good as Alabama.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? Does that sound bad, guys? Pittsburgh played Tennessee about as good as Alabama did.
No, they did. They played them great.
About Florida?
Nearly beat them.
Florida's crap. They're no good.
33. No, they're not a great team this year.
They are 15. They're not good. Georgia's going to beat them by 30 Friday and Saturday at Jacksonville. I'm just not happy.
Beat them bad.
Yeah. I think they're going. It's that time of year. Kirby knows he's the best coach. He's one of the better coaches in the country. Obviously, he was better than what people thought when we lost him at Bama. A piece of Alabama left when Kirby left.
Right.
You can tell.
Yeah.
So I'll move on from that and quit riding the same bus and just throttling my foot down on the throat of coordinators or players.
Yeah.
But that's what we're supposed to do. I'm supposed to critique, and I don't like how they.
You didn't like the offense.
I don't like how they played the game. No, he's trying to just score and throw the ball all the time. Well, man, he had to throw it because he couldn't run it. That's a problem, man. Fix it.
Yeah.
Come on, line coach. Dude, dang. Come on, you're Alabama. You're supposed to be feared by the nations. You're not anymore. It's not. Reggie Ragland threw a fit last week on a podcast and said that we're the monsters. We're the monsters that live in your closet you're supposed to be scared of. We roll our helmets on the field. We're supposed to be a 2-touchdown favorite. Nobody's scared of you no more.
Well, they ran 64 plays, 40 passes, and 24 runs called. 40 passes.
Well, hats off to Mississippi State's defensive line. How about that?
Well, they didn't.
Nobody.
Mississippi State played good on defense.
Now, let's just remember, Alabama is way down the list on defensive stops, passing the ball wise, and they're last in the nation in penalties. Now, what do you think about how the penalties cleaned up Saturday? Do you think it's just because
what was the penalties?
I think they had 3.
3 for 20.
So did the penalties, was that cleaned up because the players started paying more attention, or is it?
I'm sure they had a rough week because of it.
Was it cleaned up because the Las Vegas gambling bookies that called the game at Tennessee paid off? This is what I was told. There's an investigation coming. 3 of the referees bet enough money to pay off their house to make sure that Tennessee had to win that game.
No, you heard that?
Yes, that's real deal.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be an investigation. They'll probably wait till the end of the season to do it because they don't want to embarrass the league, because it's just embarrassing. Because when I'm watching the Big 12, and I'm going to get off this kick, they take care of their quarterback. Their quarterback got hit in the face with the crown of the helmet. You know what? You're gone. See you, buddy. Yeah. Last week, Tennessee, Bryce gets smashed in the face with the helmet.
And they did throw out a Mississippi player.
We didn't see none. Who was it that threw out?
I don't know who the guy was, but he hit it, targeted
was
head
it
to head.
First half?
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't get to see.
But they had so much heat from last week, not throwing the guy out.
Well, Joey, the fishing crew shouldn't be coaching. They should be suspended for sure. They shouldn't. And the same thing happened in the Florida LSU game years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They suspended that crew.
Yes, Florida, Arkansas. They pretty much gave Florida the game. They actually, that they considered. They had a call for.
I can't hear you. Your hand on you.
Oh, sorry. They had a call for people for that decision to be reversed. But they said no, we'll never change the outcome. So basically, if you admit you cheated,
don't matter.
You admit it, don't matter.
Tennessee wins. They got the game.
Yeah, Florida still won the game.
So, Alabama they don't look enthused to really be playing football. Bryce is like a genie out there. He's like I Dream of Genie. He just crosses his arms and blinks his eye or twitches his nose like Bewitched, and just the football just flies out of his hand like on a broomstick. He's great.
He is.
He's one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, to run around in circles. No, C.J. Stroud is your leader in that.
Well, they said the ESPN gave the Middle of the Year award to Hooker.
No, you beat Alabama. That's why.
Yeah.
It's crap.
It's a good game yesterday.
It's crap. I don't like that. They did Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was another magician worker. Throw it, bounce off people's butts, and catch the ball.
Yeah, he was
that was big time.
Pretty good.
And when you beat Alabama, it's like you win the Heisman. I think that's kind of silly. But from the opening kick, Dean, 105 yards. The stadium was electrifying. The sandstorm music was playing as the lights moved around in cadence as a packed house at Williams-Brice Stadium.
No.
Beamer ball takes in full effect against the traveling Fishers, who went down up the coast on the side over there and could only score 3 touchdowns and a field goal against Beamer and company. And they drop an egg over there and lose 30-24. Rattler 12 for 25 for only 168. Lloyd had 18 carries for 92 yards, 286 total yards. A&M outgassed them, 400 total yards with 1 fumble. Had the ball control for 33 minutes. King 17 for 32, almost 200 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. A-Chain 20 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown. So Matt, how are you telling me all these stats? But A&M lost.
Yes, they lost. What happened? I don't understand the stats either.
It was 17-0 quick. They scored, and then they blocked a.
There you go.
They blocked a punt and scored off of it, and it went 17-0 fast.
That's the difference in the ballgame.
Opening kickoff went for 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
They kicked the ball to South Carolina on touchdowns.
Oh, so they had 2 returns for touchdowns.
7-0. A&M gets the ball, stop them, 3 and out, punt, block, touchdown. 14-0.
So special teams won the game for South Carolina. I saw the stats, and I'm like, wow, they smoked them.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, they smoked them. But special teams, hey, that's part of the game. Is it not?
It's a very important part. In high school around here, guys, it's very important.
I mean, we kind of act like it's not. Well, the offense looked good, but the defense didn't. But, special teams is a huge part.
Yeah.
And that was the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, 3-5-3 is hard to adjust to. That's what I'm saying. And you just play bubble ball because they're just bouncing the ball around 5, 8, 7, 10, 15 yards down the field, and they played these big zones. And they played these dimes or nickels, and it worked out in Alabama's favor. But they don't look really. Alabama fans and the rest. Yeah, I don't. We're just. Alabama looks like a regular good football team. Yeah, they won 24.
Logan, this is Atlanta. This is Arizona hat. He said I was wearing the wrong hat to be unbiased.
Oh.
This is Arizona hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arizona State.
Now, what about did you do TCU or did I?
I did.
Duggan.
280 yards passing.
Teach me how to Dougie.
498 total yards. 38-28 win. They outgained Kansas State 498 to 394. Just big plays all night, interceptions. Duggan had a good game, 280 passing. Again, Martinez, Kansas State's quarterback, left early. And I don't know. I mean, it was just, I don't know. You pronounce it Dugan or Duggan, but he made the difference. But they also rushed for 218 yards, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I would disagree with Jalen Hyatt winning the Heisman. No, you don't. You can't gonna come on and splash one game and win because their year's fixing to get tough.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Hooker winning it.
Spring Garden is playing 5 next year. Whoa, what, Mark? Mark Welch just break news right here. Matt Todd show. Spring Garden is gonna play 5. Howard and Paul's gonna hook up. Wow, what a game that'll be. TCU stays undefeated. And this is 4 consecutive weeks of beating ranked opponents. This is a new record for them and all around the country. Nobody else is really taking on a whack through the weeds like this, man. They're just
they're moving up. They're going to be in the top 5 for long.
You know that midnight commercial that comes on, the Weed Whacker used to come on. TCU's weed whacking right now.
No, man,
they're smacking people.
This quarterback's fantastic.
4 consecutive weeks over ranked teams.
Fantastic.
I like it, man. I like it. We're going to do our top 10 here in just a minute. Matter of fact, Ohio State 54-10 over Iowa. Stroud 286, 4 touchdowns and a pick. He's the Heisman contender right now.
Him and Hooker, they 1 and 2.
Yes.
Depend on what happens the rest of the year.
Well, Hooker he played 1 game, guys. Okay, let's just be easy. You don't just beat Alabama. Well, I give him the Heisman. That's not really how it works. Tennessee over UT Martin, throttled 65-24 is how you're supposed to beat a bad team. Clemson.
That was a good game. That was a good game.
Guys.
I enjoyed it.
My permissions, my ideas and thoughts and premonitions from the summer have come true.
They did yesterday.
Klubchek did play in the game. He only threw a couple of passes. They just had to run. But he brought a energy to the team that DJ obviously cannot.
Right.
Clemson won 27-21. They were down.
Shipley had a good game, man.
Yes, he was 172 rushing. Negate 50 yards receiving. Allen 50 yards receiving. Clemson was at 450 total yards.
Wow. Unga.
What?
How do you pronounce his name?
DJ Uiagalelei.
Uiagalelei, 13 for 21, 2 interceptions. And he had a fumble, too, that they run back 90 yards.
4 turnovers in the game for them. 300 yards total for Syracuse, 167 for Schrader passing. He run for 70. Gaddison had about 100 yards nearly receiving. They threw for 167 on Clemson, rushed for 124, but the check mark, the reason Clemson won this game is just the rushing.
Yeah.
Running the ball.
Yeah, 293. Wow.
That's a winner.
Good, man.
He rushed them 300. And Syracuse come out pumped, man.
That's pretty good.
They wasn't scared to play Clemson.
No, they were not.
DJU is not. He don't need to be. He needs to go play receiver or something.
Well, I think he'll still be their quarterback.
What Dabo said at the end of the game, he said he's our guy. So he's just going to keep playing him, and they'll keep fiddle farting around, and somebody's going to beat them. Because when you not play Syracuse, when you play some real teams out of your little cushy conference, he's not going to win yet. DJU will not win them a national championship.
No, I won't think. I don't think they're going to win it anyway. I never have.
No. I did
Texas and Oklahoma State.
Man.
This was a fantastic game.
Quinn Ewers, man. Started great. He faded a little. He may still be hurt a little bit. I don't know.
His stats. Oh, and I think he's fantastic. But 19 of 49, guys, that is 39% completion percentage.
That's not good.
No, and he had 3 interceptions. But the star of the game was Spencer Sanders, 34 for 57, 391, 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson had 140 yards. He's good. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
He's great. Total yards, Texas 537, Oklahoma State 530. 41-34. I felt like Texas was going to win this game.
Yeah, me too.
I did. And Ewers, boy, I just didn't. We thought he was playing great.
He's a baller. He's a big time football player.
But he did not have a good second half.
Sarkle.
19 for 49 is bad.
Sark will get him back right.
I'm going to go out on a limb. That's as bad a stats as I've saw. 19 for 49. How good is Oklahoma State on defense? Sanders, Heisman Trophy performance, 391 and 2 touchdowns.
And we got him.
He's not going to win it.
He's in there. I've kept him in my top 10.
Yes, definitely.
Now
that's the only 3 I did. Texas TCU battle.
Let's do this one first, and I'll go back to that last one because I got some other news about another team here, about a coach that I found on Twitter today, and I'd like to share this with you guys because we like college football. My player of the week went up 17-10, kicked the onside, got the ball, scored. They never looked back. The Ducks quacked all the way. Bo Nix, 22 for 28, 283, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks for Nix, 50 rushing. And they just poured it on the ground. They rushed for 283, passed for 262. Wow. What a great balance. Irvin caught the ball, run the ball, caught it for 60, run it for over 100. This guy's an athlete. Now, UCLA Thompson had his 27 for 39, 262 passing, and Carabot
used to play at Carbonet.
Yes.
Charbonnet.
151 rushing.
Oh, yeah, he's good. He used to play Michigan's running back.
And he had a touchdown. And Bobo had over 100 yards receiving for UCLA. UCLA is not a bad football team.
They're not
I like this team, but, man, the Ducks.
I don't think they're back, though.
Dan Lanning, hot at the right time. The old Ducks coach takes the quack.
Yeah. Kelly's done a good job at UCLA, but I do not think they're ready yet. I don't think they're completely elite yet.
545 total yards for the Ducks. 448 total for the UCLA.
545. How much for UCLA?
448.
It's a lot of yards.
But
it's 1,000 yards.
They only passed for 186, which, it's not bad, but they did have a turnover. They held the ball. But here's the difference right here. This is what old Uncle Matt circled. Listen, guys. The Ducks were 3 for 3 on 4th down. That's big.
Probably where they won it.
That's big. 3 for 3 on 4th down. Franklin had 132 and 2 touchdowns. Man, get out of here. How you going to beat that?
That's hard to beat.
Good luck with that. Now, for breaking news, from sources and from Twitter, which I did share on our page. If you want to go to our Facebook page and click the link about Twitter, it don't say what it is. It just shows my account. But if you click on it and you have Twitter, it'll take you to Twitter and it'll tell you what this is about. There's a coach's private jet flew out of Mississippi and landed in Nebraska. It's a fact.
Who?
Well, LSU gets it done down on the bayou, 45-20. But last Sunday, Lane Kiffin's private jet landed in what the town was? It Franklin, Nebraska?
Omaha. No, Lincoln.
Lincoln, Nebraska. I know. Yeah, poor old.
Miami.
What's his name?
8 turnovers.
The coach, Cristobal.
I did not know they had 8 turnovers.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to bring it up. I didn't want to hurt Coach Rice's feelings. He loves Miami.
So. Duke.
They're going to turn it around. I ain't worried about Miami. Cristobal will do a good job. Just a record, I don't care about hearing about college ball. It means a lot when I've got one playing. Yes, sir. We're always glad to have you on there, Mark. We love you, brother. And Luke, I did talk to him at the game over there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and they're traveling to. They're traveling away this week. But yes, but Kiffin's plane landing in Lincoln, Nebraska. What's that about? On a Sunday at 10 o'clock it left and arrived at 12.
Nebraska's not better than Ole Miss. It may be a better job. I don't know. That don't make a lot of sense.
Well, you do remember
this
him.
This is why Lane is not liked.
Do you remember when he come on and got on the fans about not showing up to games, leaving early?
Mm-hmm.
He don't like. He just don't like that. He wants to go somewhere where he's Hollywood and he's celebrated as much as the players, and that's his style.
And he's not there.
And he's not there. Ole Miss is just not the. It's just not.
Well, they got drilled yesterday.
Guys, they don't listen. As long as you're in the SEC, you're gonna have to deal with one guy that's in charge. And there's a number 2 sheriff in town right now that's that won the title last year. Ole Miss is never gonna be Alabama.
No, probably not.
But here's the thing for me: who is?
Right, but they could beat them here in a couple of weeks.
Well, if they're not, looks like they're not focused. If you guys playing is leaving and going
and
to.
then that's kind of weird. He does that on Sunday, and they get beat 45-20 by LSU, who supposedly isn't that good, which I don't buy.
Well, your player of the week, Jaden, was 21 for 28 and 248 with 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 120.
Daniels, 369 yards.
The running back Williams from Houston, Texas, had 76. LSU lights it up, Dean. Check mark. 500 yards offense.
Wow.
248 rushing, 252 passing. What a perfect balance by Coach Kelly. Dart 19 for 34. Not good.
No,
that's as bad as
game.
That's as bad as the other dude. 284 yards and a pick. Watkins had a throw for 4. Junkins 111, 2 touchdowns.
Good, just a freshman.
Heath had 145 for Ole Miss.
Receiving.
404 total yards for the Fighting Kiffins. Kiffin did have a post on Twitter, and I'll be glad to show it to you after show. People, you can go on my Twitter page, Matt Todd Show. It's at Big Matt 1977, and just read them. I retweeted them and Kiffin put out a tweet Monday or Tuesday. Home is not where you are. And the day before, his plane left. Then he tweets that out. Y'all can go figure what you want to. And I'm just saying.
Breaking news here: Lane Kiffin may be going to Nebraska.
I'm just saying, and for the record, and most people don't know this, but I'm gonna share it with you. And if you're a deep watcher of the show, love you too, brother Mark. Good to see you, and we are so glad Miss Ann's doing good. Mark may know this. Lane and his dad, they're from Nebraska. Lane was born.
No, I did not know that.
Lane was born in Lincoln, cause Monty was coaching there.
Really?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Now, that big boy defense they played back in the day, well, you know who the coach was. The head coach.
Tom Osborne.
Osborne. Yeah. Well, guess who his number 2 guy was? Go on that list and look who's number 2 and a little writing under him. Monty Kiffin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That's why they're so successful. They had 2 of the greatest offensive and defensive coaches ever.
Yeah.
Monty Kiffin invented the Tampa 2. It's actually his scheme. He invented it. What's going on there, Big Teddy? Good luck this week.
Yeah, he did invent the Tampa 2.
Yes, he did. We was just talking about you guys, Teddy, and they got.
Who they got this week?
Let's see. They will have a playoff against Hackleberg, or who was it? Yes, I'm right. Hackleberg. Yeah.
Hackleberg.
Yes, Hackleberg. Now, Markston played Hubbardville. That's who they played his last game.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was Hackleberg they played, but anyway. So you heard it here first. The Kiffin family is from Lincoln, Nebraska. His daddy coached there.
Right.
Lane was born there. This has been set to happen since the day Lane was born, to come back to Nebraska, Manny, and revive the Cornhuskers.
I guarantee you Manny don't want him.
No, a lot of people probably don't want him.
He's not well liked. I'm not knocking Manny. I'm just going to say that most Nebraska fans don't want him. But I think he's a good one. I don't know what's going on there with And I'm going to say Ole Miss.
Fans don't want to be there. They're just not. He don't like it. He wants them to be at the stadium. They don't sell games out. He wants to be like Alabama, where they're rocking and rolling. And, dude, South Carolina was rolling Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big win for them over A&M. Big win. I was not expecting it. That just tells me the odds makers know what they're doing. I'm sitting there and the spread for that game was 3, and I'm like, why is the spread for this game only 3?
I thought A&M would win it big.
Well, yeah, I'm sure everybody did, didn't they?
Well, let's find out, Dean. Because last week, Texas and Oklahoma State.
What we pick?
I had Texas. You had Okie State.
I got lucky because that went down to the wire. That could have gone either way.
I had LSU. You had Ole Miss.
1-1.
We both had Bama.
2-1.
We both had Clemson.
3-1.
I had UCLA. You had Oregon.
Okay.
Kansas State. We had TCU. And these other teams were idle. And then we talked about Georgia and Florida playing the cocktail party. So
Both went 4-1. 4-2, 5-1, something like that.
yeah, and
Not bad.
the none of these games really surprised. Some of these I picked like. I really thought UCLA would beat Oregon. Now I'll claim that one.
Mm-hmm.
I just did. I thought they were better.
Yeah, you felt like they would.
Bo Nix had the game of his life.
Yeah.
Honestly, the game of his life.
Oh, he did. He
Besides
had
that-
several of them this year.
Besides that Iron Bowl game when he
Yeah.
played this.
Played out
But
of his mind.
honestly, LSU, man, they're just getting better right now.
Oh, gosh, he did a good job.
Hey, let me tell you something before we get off here.
But y'all still not want Brian Kelly down there?
Let me tell you something. Alabama lost, LSU lost, Ole Miss now lost. Well, guess what we got going on in SEC West, fellas?
A 3-way tie?
Yeah, and guess who ain't played yet? Alabama ain't played in there one of them.
No.
So right now these games mean more than anything. So the month of November, it don't get no better.
Who's Alabama got this week?
They're off. Playing no idle.
Oh, God.
Nobody's beat them yet.
They're a loss. A loss.
Dean, thank you for rotating us right in here to next week's games. That's what we're going to do. Week 9 picks, Dean. We got Ohio State at Penn State, 11 o'clock on your Fox Nation Sports. Week 9, guys. It's tightening up. Ohio State at Penn State. I like Coach Franklin. Thought he did a great job at Vanderbilt.
He did.
Won Coach of the Year, I think, didn't he?
I'm sure. SEC, I'm sure.
I'm gonna
He
take.
might have won National Coach of the Year.
I'm gonna take the old Buckeyes on
I'm
that.
going to stick with the Buckeyes, too.
We like old Stink Eyes on that. And Gators in Jacksonville. Georgia will be considered the home team. 2:30 CBS. That's not Cedar Bluff School neither.
Yeah, it's at Cedar Bluff School Stadium.
Right.
That
Cocktail
would be-
parties at Cedar Bluff.
Could you maybe be worse than Liberty Day?
LD Bruce Field.
It probably might not be as bad as Liberty Day.
It may not be that bad. It'd be like trying to get in Fibbers on a half price Monday.
I'm going to stick with Georgia.
Yeah, I am too. I don't even think it's close. I'm gonna say Georgia. I'm even gonna put Big O here. They're Georgia's gonna make a run at this. They know right now it's coming November. They're fixing to do playoff rankings and the AP poll, which we'll share in just a minute when we do our top 10. Bama's still 6. Georgia's gonna have to run the score up to stay for people going. Georgia scored 52 on
Yeah.
Dean, yo, fighting Wildcats.
At
It's finally
Tennessee.
gonna happen.
I'm going to pick Tennessee. I will say this. I would think it would be a better game for Kentucky if it was home. But they got to go down there and play? No way.
6 o'clock ESPN, guys. The second best sports nation because the best sports show is right here, Matt and Todd Show. Every Sunday night at 6 o'clock. You can find us on iHeartRadio, anywhere. Hit the thumbs up, guys. You like our videos and our content?
You going to take Tennessee?
Oh, yeah. That ain't going to be.
I mean, I don't think it'll be a beatdown.
Levis is kind of breathing right now. I'm just not. I don't know.
I don't think it'll be 42-14. But
Two teams that come off 2 bad losses will meet at Kyle Station. 6:30 SEC Network. The traveling Kiffins will be at the Fishers. Ole Miss. Jack. The dog, my partner over here.
no, this is not a person we're talking to.
That's Joey in the peanut section over here tearing up paper. Ole Miss at A&M. 6:30 SEC Network.
Man, I'm going to take A&M. That's just an even match to me.
It is.
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm serious. Look.
A&M will upset you in about 2 seconds.
I'm going A&M too.
All right.
Let me tell you why. Because that story I just told you.
Yeah, and they're
He's not.
beat LSU bad.
And if he's not focused, because he's making trips to Lincoln, Nebraska,
He's not going to coach well. You can't serve two masters.
2 more games here, guys. Also at 6:30 on ABC, that'd be Michigan State at Michigan. Khaki pants.
I'm going to take Michigan.
Yeah.
I just don't think Michigan State's very good this year.
We got a split on one of them.
Yeah.
11 o'clock now, when you get up, Saturday morning, after you watch the replay of Matt and Todd show, to get caught up on all your college football news, and you turn it on game day about 9, and you got your gravy biscuit sitting there, and you go and watch your first game of the day. Woo, Pig Suey! It's going to be down at the Fighting Harsons of the War Eagle Tigers.
I got to take Arkansas. All right, man, we're going to have to flip to see who takes Ole Miss. Because we got to have one different.
The Auburn-Arkansas game is at Auburn, and it's at 11 on SEC Network. Start your day off, gravy, biscuit, bacon, and then you can flip back and forth.
Okay,
and
I'll
watch
tell you what I'll do.
Ohio State and Penn State.
Mark me off on that. I want to take Auburn in the upset.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to take Auburn.
You never know, man. Who knows?
Hey, they played well against Ole Miss, and Arkansas's been kind of up and down. I do think Arkansas's a better team, but it's in Auburn, and Auburn plays well at home.
11 o'clock, see if Dean's right.
Except for that Penn State game. I know somebody's going to come on there and say that. Well, they didn't against Penn State. No, they did not against Penn State.
Mark said that he needs to stay at Ole Miss right now because Kiffin will not fit in Nebraska.
No.
He was born there, Mark. This is set from birth, Mark. This is supposed to be. He was born there.
Can't wait to tell Manny that. Lane Kiffin makes trip.
Yeah, I mean, you can go find it. And go on his Twitter page, guys, and
Some stats
you can read his stuff, and he requotes his stuff, and that's what he said. He shared a meme, and the little meme said, "Home's not where you're always at."
Wow.
Mark, God, man, where have you been? You're in timeout. You're in trouble, man. You ain't been on here in 2 weeks.
What did he do? Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, good. It is. I know Kiffin's. I'm just kidding. I'm being sarcastic. I don't.
But you're kidding. You're serious about him making this trip.
You can find it. His private plane left Sunday at like 10:30 and landed in Lincoln, Nebraska at like 12 o'clock.
Wow. I got to text Manny that. I'm going to do it right now.
We're going to do our top 10, and
I'll do it after.
which one's this? All right, Dean, tell us about your top 10.
All right. Well, I still got Ohio State won. Convincing win against Iowa, who's not terrible. 54-10. Georgia didn't play, so I can't really bump them one way or the other. Michigan didn't play. I can't bump them. We'll keep Tennessee at 4. They were supposed to beat UT Martin, and they did. I bumped Bama up over Clemson. I just think they're better.
They are.
I just think they're better.
Clemson's not very good.
No, but I'm not going to drop Clemson too far. One spot. Move TCU up to 7. Oregon's had some convincing wins. I had to bump them over USC. USC did not play yesterday. They're at 9. And I put Okie State back in the top 10 after that big win. Come from behind win, too.
Yes, I like how they're playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, they lost one game to the number 7 team in overtime. Not in overtime, by 3 points.
Yeah.
So, let's not get down on them too bad.
Let's see here.
This may be the best team he's had.
Let's see here. Dana Rooney. Okay. Now, there's that, and I'll talk about that, and I'll pull it up here on my phone. Ohio State is one. They have showed why that they're a number 1 team. They're not pulling any punches, and as bad as I hate to admit it because I am an SEC homer, and I can admit that. But, it is what it is. So, I like Ohio State at 1. Georgia didn't play, but we're going to find out. They'll put the smackdown on Florida this weekend, and they'll probably be back up at 1 for me. And Tennessee, it is what it is. I mean, they took care of business. There ain't no further around.
It wasn't close.
No, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to beat a team like that. Bama sneaks back in the top 4. For me, they played better. And I've just got them in there because I don't like Michigan. I don't like khaki pants. I don't think they're legit. Mm-hmm. I almost put TCU at 4.
Well,
and I told you before the show, I said, if you'll tell me to change it, I'll change it.
Do you think
I could get talked into it.
better than Bama, though?
Man, boy, they sure look sharp.
Now, Michigan and Clemson, possibly.
Boy, TCU look sharp. That defense.
They look good.
The defense guys, they look sharp.
They do.
I got Khaki Pants, Michigan 6. Clemson is a faulty failure. I don't even know how I got them in the top 10. The Ducks squeaking and quacking their way on up to number 8 for me. Oklahoma State at 9. Good job out there for the Cowboys because you just can't read him. He's hard to read. I mean, you're trying to play a poker game with that Cowboy.
You're talking about Oklahoma. Oh, you can't. You can't read this guy.
He just.
But look, can I justify something?
And then
real quick,
I got USC at 10. USC, they didn't play, but I want to keep them at 10. I want to give them a chance to get in this thing. But Oregon right now is in the driver's seat for the Pac-12.
For anybody saying why y'all got Oregon, Oklahoma State, Oregon's lost one game to Georgia, and they did get beat bad, but they've came back strong.
Yes.
Clemson hasn't lost. Michigan hasn't lost. TCU. Bama lost one, but they lost to Tennessee. USC's lost one game by a point. And
let's talk about playoffs.
What do you got? Well, let me ask you one thing.
Bring that up because you can bring that into a playoff. Think about what you just said. Oregon only loss.
Yeah, one loss to the number 2 team one team in the country in AP.
That's probably that is going to fix to play the number 3 team, Tennessee, and beat. Yeah. I think they beat Tennessee.
All those got good resumes.
So how does a one-loss SEC team like Bama get in if they're going to have to beat Ole Miss and LSU?
Yes, they have to. Who you got at 11? I got Wake Forest at 11.
Yes, I do too. Okay. I agree. Yeah.
I don't really know about 12.
UCLA is at 12.
You didn't drop that much.
Yeah, Wake Forest and USC, they actually have them tied in AP at 10.
Didn't drop Ole Miss too much.
15. All right, here's the AP poll. I'll run through that so you guys kind of compare what we just did. Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, Michigan. That's your playoff teams that's going to play off. Right outside looking in, Clemson had one number 1 vote. Georgia, Bama still at 6. They left them there. I don't have a problem with that.
No.
I moved them up.
Clemson has not lost.
I
just think Bama's better.
Yes, and here's my allegation for moving them into the 4 because I don't like Michigan. I think they're false. They're fake. They're as bad as any of those news networks. Mm-hmm. It's fake news, Michigan. And Clemson played terrible. They shouldn't have won that game. No, Bama was never behind.
I mean, their running game won.
How is Clemson over Alabama? Mm-hmm. Because Bama lost a game? Well, let's see Clemson line up with Tennessee. Mm-hmm. What do you think that score is going to be? It won't be a field goal win for the Vols over the Orange Kitty Cats. It'll be about a 3-touchdown win for the Vols over the Kitty Cats.
And I could see them beating them 42-27.
42-30. Yeah, I'm good with that. Hey, guys, I don't know what but that's okay.
2 touchdowns most of the game.
Whatever makes them happy.
Especially if it's in Neyland. If it's in Death Valley, I still think Tennessee wins.
But there's a chance for Bama better win these games if they want to go to playoffs. And if they don't, you know what? The sun's going to shine tomorrow, and it'll be great for let some of these other teams get in because I like TCU. I like to see them get in this thing. Dude, they've beat 4 consecutive weeks of ranked opponents. Yeah. Who else has done that? And Oregon, they're quacking along, hanging around. Let's see how they turn out. Number 6, Alabama. 7, my guys at TCU, the Horned Frogs. 8, the Ducks. 9, Oklahoma State. 10, USC. Wake Forest, UCLA at 12. Penn State 13.
Utah, which I believe.
Utah's at 14. It's not bad. They dropped Ole Miss.
Didn't they? Is anybody new join?
Yeah, South Carolina come at 25.
LSU's not in. Oh, yeah,
they're 18. Yes, they moved up 3 or 4 spots. All right, we got Syracuse at 16.
What do you think about that?
Hang on. Illinois at 17. 18 is LSU. Kentucky 19. Cincinnati Bearcats squeaked out a win against SMU like 28-27.
Yeah.
No idea what's going on there. North Carolina Tar Heels 21. Kansas State 22. 23 is Tulane. 24. The Wolfpack have dropped from 8 to 24. They're fake. They're fraud. Called that back in summer. They're not good. The guy tried to tell me, we brought everybody back. I said, it don't mean everybody's good.
Well, that's true, too. I was going to ask you about one. Now.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Best team they've ever had? Probably. Who? Illinois.
Oh, I know.
Think they're for real?
No.
You don't think they'll make any noise in that big team?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Do you think they're fixing to drop a few?
Let's see. Why don't we just look it up?
Look at their schedule. Illinois, undefeated, or they may have lost one? Number 17. I've never known Illinois. I'm sure they have been, but I don't remember them ever being ranked. In the
they play
17.
Nebraska this weekend. That'll be a win. Right, they play Michigan State that Saturday the 5th.
They could win that.
Purdue the 12th.
Could win that.
At Michigan the 19th.
Loss.
And then Northwestern. So they could come through here with just a one-loss record.
Easily.
Yeah. And then they'll move up to they'll probably get them up in 10.
10, yeah.
depending on who falls out of that other.
Right.
Because you're going to have some other guys fall out of that picture for the AP.
Mm-hmm. I just, you never hear much about Illinois football. Never.
Some of these guys are going to lose again. Clemson's not. They have the easiest walk to it. In Michigan, all they got to do is beat Ohio State at the end of the month.
Right.
They win the Big 12. They're in. And
Oregon still got USC.
Clemson and Georgia are in. So, and I say Georgia because they'll beat Tennessee. And all these top number 6, 1 through 6, is going to take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia beats Tennessee. Tennessee drops to 8 or 9. All right. Ohio State beats Michigan. They stay 2. Michigan drops to 7. Bama will have to beat LSU and Ole Miss. I don't know if they beat both of them.
It's not going to be easy. They play at LSU, right?
And at Ole Miss.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tall one.
So I'm just saying. And big man, he's a dang Bammer. I'm telling you, I don't think right now today, what I have seen, based on what I've seen so far, as an analyst of the college football game, hello, Coach Short. When Michigan plays, you're exactly right, and I don't think Michigan beats Ohio State.
No,
Stroud and them's just too much.
It's at Ohio State this time.
Yep. So big match, you're a Bama. You're a Bammer. You're a Bammer. I'm just telling you, a Bama right here is telling you. I don't think Bama wins one of those games, and I can't tell you which one they're gonna lose.
It wouldn't shock me if
they play terrible on the road. Mm-hmm. Should have lost to Texas. Mm-hmm. Almost dumped one at home against A&M with a backup quarterback.
They were on the 2-yard line on the last play. Ball game.
And then all the penalties. And then the next week, they traveled Neyland. The penalties called them again with a couple of crappy calls. But 12 of those 16 or 17 were legit.
Yes.
Terrible.
They were.
They were lucky to be close in that game. That's how a bad Alabama team is that close to beating the Tennessee team. Don't mean Tennessee's real good. It just means that they kind of got lucky at the right times. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now, what happened yesterday? Are you kidding me? Mississippi State, dude, Kentucky handled them pretty well for the most part. And that's with Levis kind of on and off the field.
Yeah, he went out some in that game.
He was, So, your number 6 Tide may stumble and bumble and fool around here and wind up finishing the season with 2 losses and ranked about 10, and that's fantastic. It's okay because then we'll be, 10-2 at the end of the season?
Yeah. I mean, they may win both of them.
Dude, you know what? And we'll have a good bowl game because who don't want Alabama at their bowl game? Mm-hmm. So we take a Sugar Bowl and let me just make a weird proclamation for about 4 months ahead of time. I'm going to say Alabama and Michigan play in the Sugar Bowl.
Mm-hmm. You think they'll both be out?
Possibly. Yeah, they both. That's your 2 outs.
You definitely don't think Alabama will win the SEC championship.
No, there's no way. Not if they continue to play what I have seen so far. I have seen lackadaisical, bad play calling to Bryce holding the ball all day back there making tomato sandwiches, putting salt and pepper on it, and frying Spam with the other hand, running in circles for 8 seconds with the football, and then we gripe because the lineman get called for holding. He can't run with the ball on, throw it away or run it. Mm-hmm. No running game yesterday.
Not
0.
Yesterday. Well, really not against Tennessee. They rushed for 114 against Tennessee.
Yes.
154 yards in 2 weeks.
And Gibbs is great. He's a good back. But he's more useful catching the ball out of the backfield. He just is.
Alabama's leading receiver.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting close to 1,000.
Guys, are you paying attention? Why is he the leading receiver? What? Because we don't have elite receivers. What are you saying, man? I'm saying that Alabama's recruited. They got 5 stars hanging off the trees down there, hanging out of the balconies. They got them stacked and pushed in corners. They got so many. They ain't putting it together.
Mm-hmm. Well, just because you're a 5-star don't mean you're going to develop.
And
like
that's
Jameson Williams or John Mitch.
Always been the problem at the team down the road, at the bottom part of the state. The Auburn Tigers can't develop players. They never have. Gus could not do it. They couldn't.
Mm-hmm. He's undefeated this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you play high school football down there in South Florida with some fantastic athletes. Mm-hmm. They're so good. They come out of IMG, and if they don't have the paperwork to get them pushed up further into big colleges, they go down there and play, and they're good. Mm-hmm. I mean, those guys down there in that part of the country.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you, JSU lost yesterday, 13-14.
I hate that. And, I was poor for our guys.
and UAB was off.
Alabama TCU plays in the Fiesta Bowl.
No.
December 28th. That's my crystal ball.
I just got it. Alabama TCU.
Johnny Carson, he'd take that paper, note, an envelope, put up on his head, remember?
Yeah.
Swami. All right, y'all young guys, y'all don't know, but older people our age that watch, you do know. Guys, we've been on here too long. Let's get off here, Dean.
Hey, congrats to Ace Ashley.
Ace Ashley, big dog. I will see you Tuesday. Golly, look at all these people on here. Man, I'm so darn happy. Dean, let's see, what did Mark say? As bad as I hate to say it, Tennessee is better than Ohio State and Michigan. Well, they may be. We may find out, Mark. But
Michigan.